Hey y'all, so I tried doing this update video last week and something happened. YouTube wouldn't let it upload. I don't know what happened, but trying again. Anyways, garden update. First thing you see here are chives and shallots, and as you can see, the chives, for the first time in 3 years since I got these guys, and there's a caterpillar on here. This guy needs to go. Throwing him over in the fish pond for food. But as you can see, they're actually finally blooming. I've got chive flowers. So, not really going to let these go all the way on because they can become quite invasive. They just grow everywhere. They're delicious, so I've heard you can actually eat the flowers. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Mint's doing real good. This is the little potted one. These are some of my small herbs and flowers. My spinach that I'm letting go to seed now so I can collect those for next year. And here we have the first half of my potatoes. And as you can see, they are doing amazing. They are so much bigger and healthier than the potatoes I grew last year. These are in the 5-gallon self-watering containers. I put a much looser soil in so it gives them a chance to grow better. They're doing really well. Here's the actual mint beds. There's the chocolate. Let's go around here. Spearmint. And one of my peppermint buckets. And the mint just really takes off around here. It doesn't like full sun and heat, so I keep it here in under the shade tree next to the fish pond. And as for the pond itself, my fish are begging as usual. They're always hungry. Here, as you can see, we changed out the filter. This is a new bucket, so same gravel or clay balls. I just washed these off good. Not completely, but rinsed them. And what we have growing here now are sweet potatoes. Since last year, my decorative sweet potato vine did so amazing, I'm doing it with actual sweet potatoes this year so that they'll grow up this trellis, and I'm going to put some more buckets down underneath. That was a kind of a fail. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that, and there's going to be buckets down here so that some vines will go up the trellis to get more sunlight past the tree, and then the rest of them will go into these buckets down here and hopefully produce some sweet potato tubers. And there's a plane going by overhead. I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it. Like a small little private airport not too far from here, a little airstrip. So we get those occasionally. These are my winter plants, or what's left of them. The broccoli I already harvested, but they're trying to grow back. So right now I'm just kind of not even bothering with them. I'll deal with that later. My 2 varieties of parsley. This one's 3 years old. They're biennials, so they already bloomed last year. So now it's just growing again. This is my favorite type of parsley that's curled, so I'm just going to keep and grow some more of that. Flat leaf, not too fond of that one. They do have a different taste and texture, so I'll probably scrap that for something else. This is my rosemary, doing pretty good. Now here are what's left of my radishes. I already harvested and ate most of them. Now they're going to seed, and I'm letting them because with everything that's going on right now, and a lot of seed shops are selling out fast because a lot more people are gardening, I am now collecting seeds. So I've got the Butter Crunch lettuce is going to seed. I've been collecting a lot from that. Radishes. The carrots that I haven't already harvested are now starting to go to seed. You can see some little flower buds starting there. These I tried growing, but it just got too hot too fast. They're not producing roots, so I don't know what's going to happen. They may either make some roots or they'll go to seed. We'll just have to wait and see. Catnip, also in the mint family, really taken off all of a sudden. Like just literally the last 2 weeks, this thing has shot up. And Scooter. Scooter, River. There's the doggies. Hey, little girl. Now these are some of the broccoli that I had grown. These are 2 varieties I do not have seed for. I got these as young plants. So I separated them first so that they could pollinate, and now that they're fully pollinated, they're next to each other here out of the way. So I'm going to Once these are fully dry, probably another couple of weeks, I'll be collecting these, and as you can see, I'll have plenty of broccoli seeds so I can grow these over the winter. Here's the other half of the potatoes. Again, big, healthy. I got real high hopes for a good potato harvest this year. Here in kind of the semi-shaded area, in addition to the potatoes, which I know they're a full sun, but they do need partial shade in this Texas heat, because they either need cooler temperatures or they need partial shade if it gets too hot. In Texas, we're already seeing highs up in the 80s. Down here you've got my oregano, the marjoram, which is already bolting, but there's still some smaller nubs down there that I'll be harvesting, kind of just trimming back and harvesting as needed. Kind of down here tucked away, these are lemon balm. So I've got these for mostly because lemon plants, lemon balm, lemon thyme, lemongrass is really big to help repel mosquitoes. That's why I have so many different lemon scented herbs around here. And I mostly just grow these as mosquito repellents. This, however, is the bee balm I had gotten. It was just this tiny little thing, wasn't doing good. I thought it was going to die over the winter. Planted it in this 12-gallon pot here, and it has shot up. It's growing, and it's just non-stop growth. I can't wait till this thing starts flowering and starts bringing in butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds. And here are the actual raised beds. First one here, I mean, you can see most of these plants are still pretty small because it got hot chilly and rainy, and they don't like either one. Now that it's finally drying out and warming up, they're really starting to all of a sudden just take off so far. Shishitos, gypsies, cucumbers along the back. They're going to grow up that trellis along the fence. There's some more gypsies. These two here are cardinals, which are kind of unusual. I've never grown these before. Look at this color. I mean, this is not ripe. This is how they are. They're purple. And then they turn more red once they ripen up. So they start purple instead of green, and then they turn kind of a reddish color. So I can't wait to see what this is going to taste like. There's my Thai basil. Little row of onions here in the front. That's more just kind of pest control and for harvesting for green onions, really. The dragon. Banana peppers, which kind of have a unusual curl to them. And over here we got my bell pepper, some lemon basil, little poblano down there, another shishito, an overwintered jalapeno. That's the mammoth jalapeno. It's not looking like much right now, but now that we're drying out, it'll start growing a lot more new growth. It's already got a couple peppers starting. Here's the macaroni pepper. First one down here starting. My nasturtium, this is the jewel nasturtium, which is going to grow out and kind of trail over the sides here. Marigolds, of course, bug repellents. Tomatillos, I don't know how you can see this, but it is just loaded with fruit. I mean, absolutely loaded with these. The bees are doing an amazing job. It's doing so much better than it was last year. My cantaloupes started from nothing. Now they're taking off. They're really getting growing. So I'm going to let them grow, take over most of the bed, and then they'll grow up this A-frame trellis again like last year. The little one I got last year was so sweet and delicious. So with these being in a actual raised bed, I've got high hopes for several really good cantaloupes this year. And then my tomatoes. These are amazing. I've only got 4 varieties here at the moment. I've got a 5th one that's still seedlings. They'll be transplanted in another couple of months because they're a heat-loving tomato. But there we go. That's the early girl here. This, I beg your pardon, River. This right here, hi Rivy, is 2 early girl tomatoes. And I'm trellising them up on the paracord strings going up to this PVC pipe frame, and so far it's really working well. It's a different trellising method. The stakes are really just to kind of hold up and stabilize the trellis. It's really sturdy, and as you can see, it kind of moves, so when the wind blows, they'll shake and they won't actually snap. And this monstrosity right here, this is one big plant. That is one Hamson tomato. And there's my first fruit right there. And it's just loaded with flowers right now. There's just flowers everywhere, and I'm hand pollinating them using a electric toothbrush. And it's just, I can't wait to try these. Yes, it's got a lot of suckers. It looks like it's multiple plants, but I am intentionally letting it grow like this. I'm keeping it pruned around the base, as you can see. And I'm intentionally letting it grow multiple suckers because it is planted really, really deep, almost to the bottom of this 20-inch tall bed. Really healthy, good root system, and if I see any diseased leaves, which I have not seen a single one, then I remove them. And this one here, this is the youngest of the ones in the bed so far. This is a husky red cherry. I grew this 2 years ago. It's a heat-tolerant cherry tomato. Lots and lots of beautiful, very delicious little 1-inch tomatoes. This one I thought was going to die when we had all that rain. It did not like the rain and the cold. Now that it's drying out and warming up, it's actually starting to really take off. So we'll see how this does. This is the Mule Team. Mule Teams are a beefsteak type tomato. They're an heirloom beefsteak. And beefsteaks really don't do well in Texas, so crossing fingers seeing how these are going to turn out. And there goes another plane. This is my garlic. This is a red Creole garlic, which is supposed to do well here, so it'll be about June before these are ready. So far, they're doing pretty good. River, move. Kick the dog butt out of the way. And the last thing here, strawberries. That white dust is DE, but I sprinkled some DE and cinnamon the other day, but as you can see, there are berries. I've been picking them daily as they get fully ripe. I'm going to put an actual locking cover over this because it's in the front yard, but they're doing amazing. And finally, onions. Can't wait for the onions to grow. A couple little herbs there. But between the onions, the strawberries, and tomatoes, really hoping. She knows she ain't supposed to be by the gate. Really hoping that things do well this year. So, that's the yard. And I guess that's about it for today. Stay home, stay isolated, stay safe.